First subscriber. Thanks, man. You know who you are. Now let's multiply this by, I don't know, 10 million. Hey, you gotta start from somewhere, and you're the start. You're the best. Hi and welcome back. Virtual machines are simply operating systems within operating systems. What else? This way we can install Linux or other older Windows versions within our main operating system, also known as the host. That can be Windows, Linux, or Mac. To install them, we'll have to use a hypervisor software. This is a virtualization software, free in the case of Virtualbox, or UTM, sometimes free with VMware, I think the VMware player, or paid with Parallels. So let's begin. In this video, we'll install Linux Mint, which is, I think, better than Ubuntu because it can be quite bloated. Canonical filled a lot of things within Ubuntu that I really don't like. Maybe it's a good idea if you're just starting out, but Linux Mint, it really doesn't change much, and it's much better, much faster, and it's also quite a lightweight operating system. There's not as much bloat as there is on Ubuntu. Now, first, go to virtualbox.org and download the hypervisor software. Click on download, Windows host if you have Windows. Download it. It's pretty trivial. You just download it and then you start it. Yes. Next. I accept. Next. Yes. Next. Yes. Install. What? Oh God. I uninstalled it previously and I had to restart the machine because, of course, Windows. So let's reboot the machine and install it again. I built a powerful, expensive rig, but rebooting the system is always annoying. Thanks, Windows. Ctrl J to get back to the downloads. Let's try installing the damn thing again. Next. I accept. Next. Yes. Next. Install. Start Oracle VirtualBox 7.1. There it is. Let's go over Jesus Christ. Just shut up. Let's go over a quick overview of the VirtualBox software. So, what do we have here? This is the program. Click on File, you can change up some preferences. Well, there really isn't anything interesting here. What we'll be interested in most of the time is just importing machines and creating new machines. Now, if you want to import a machine that has been created by someone else, like it will happen in the future on this channel, because I will give you some MOVA files, or you will also download them from Vulnhub, for example, then you will have to import them. But if you're given a machine with a VBox extension, you will have to add it with add, or just by creating new and then adding a virtual hard drive. But what we'll do in this video is installing a Linux Mint machine, virtual machine ex novo. So what we have to do on the Linux Mint website and download it. Now, the best way to download it is via torrent, so that if something goes wrong with the download, you will not lose your progress. I mean, I'm talking to people that probably never even heard of torrents, right? So what you'll need is QBitTorrent. And once you download this, you'll be able to start it by looking it up. It's this program right here. The way torrent programs, peer-to-peer download programs work is you just download a torrent file that will be loaded within this application, or you will be given a magnet code that you'll paste in here, and then the download will start. It's really simple. So in the case of Linux Mint, we just click on download. You download the Cinnamon edition. If you have a slow PC, the XFCE edition might be a better option, but doesn't matter which one you download and install, you can always switch desktop environments later on, because Linux is very modular and you can basically do anything you want with the operating system because it's open source, the code is open, it's not Windows. So let's download the Cinnamon edition because it's the one that's the most similar to Windows, so you'll be familiar with it. If you're watching this video, I take for granted that you know very little about virtualization and Linux. That's why I'm doing this video, because we'll go very fast and very far in the following about 70 videos or so. Because I'm translating all of my channel contents. I have been working on prime rating security in the Italian language for the past year. I have about 70 videos that I'll be uploading, so make sure to subscribe because it's gonna be a wild ride. Yeah, a wild ride it's gonna be. Save torrent file, save it in downloads, then just double click it, and it'll be added to your QBitTorrent queue. It'll download an ISO file, as you see here. It's basically like a virtual DVD. You could even burn this to a DVD-ROM if you're old enough to remember them, or you could flash it to a pen drive with a software like Rufus in case you wanted to install Linux Mint as your main operating system. Now, thank God I got a faster connection lately, so it's already at 30%. I'll wait for it to finish downloading and I'll get back here. Okay, download's complete. So let's open up VirtualBox again. And now we'll just have to create a new machine because we get an ISO. If we had a VBox, we would have clicked on add instead. If we had a Nova file, we would have instead clicked on import appliance. This is an ISO, I repeat, it's a DVD-ROM. So we create an empty machine and then we mount the ISO like if it were a DVD disk. So we click on new, we call it Linux Mint. See here, it already asks for the ISO image. Click another, go to downloads, where was it? Linux Mint. Skip unattended installation. This never works. By unattended installation, it means, well, I'll do the installation by myself. No, he can do it. As base memory, give it about 96 gigabytes of RAM. I'm joking. You can give it 2 or even 4. If you have 16 gigs of RAM, give it 4 forgive us bragging about this. It's so stupid. Give it 4 CPU cores. As for disk size of, I think 20 is enough, but I'll give it 30. Next, finish. And now to start with the installation, you just have to double click it. View scaled mode so that you might be able to read whatever is happening on the screen. God, I did this so many times at this point. It's one of the last times where I'll be teaching this, because all of my other courses at this point are quite advanced, but I still haven't translated all of them to English, so this is probably the last time I'll be installing Linux Mint, making a video about it, at least. Now to install it on a virtual machine, it's quite trivial because we will not be handling volumes and there's no risk of breaking anything really. As opposed to installing, for example, Linux Mint in a dual boot setup. Installing Arch Linux in a dual boot setup it's even worse, but I managed to pull it off with bootloader chaining. Is coming in the next 3 months, about 3 months. Language English is fine. No, don't install them. You can if you want to. They're just used to play some video formats and properly render some websites. You can just install VLC and it's going to install all of the needed media codecs. Erase this can install Linux Mint. It's in a virtual machine. We don't care. Continue. Rome, yeah. Your name. Choose your account name, computer's name, doesn't matter. Username, I'll choose Adriano. And for password, Adriano too. You could choose a stronger password, but if you will not be exposing services on the internet and you don't have a nasty brother or sister, I think it's really not important. You can choose a stupid password. And now we wait for the installation to complete. After that, we'll have to remove the ISO from the DVD-ROM drive, virtual drive, and we'll just have to install the Virtualbox guest editions so that we'll be able to enable bidirectional drag and drop, as well as copy and paste. We'll be able to mount folders from our host machine, from our main operating system to the virtual machine so that they can share files. And we'll also be able to put the operating system, the desktop environment, to full screen so that it will automatically scale the resolution size to the correct values, because if we don't, it'll look just like this. I mean, you could right click and change the display settings to be your resolution, but it's not ideal. It's annoying. So let's wait for this to finish, and once it's done, we're going to do all of the other operations I just mentioned and we'll wrap it up. So it's done apparently. So let's go to machine settings, storage. We can remove this. Okay, restart now. It crashed. No worries, it'll work. Maybe. Let's force reboot this. See, it works. One thing that I always do is I go to settings, go to description, and note down both the username and the password so that you don't forget them. Now, what we have to do is installing the Virtualbox editions. Now, with each new version of Linux, it's always different. So let's see how to do it this time around. So the first thing, do a sudo apt update so that will update the repos and we'll get the latest version of the packages from the repositories. I go really deep with Linux, covering absolutely everything about it in a new course that's coming out on Teachable, which is called Introduction to Linux, the complete course. But it'll be coming by the end of the month because I still have to translate it all. And it's more than 8 hours of material. So it's gonna be painful, but it's great. Everyone absolutely liked it in Italy. And converted lots of people from Windows to Linux with that. It's also a great start into IT because if you do software development or if you want to work in penetration testing, ethical hacking, or system administration, you have to know Linux. God, apt search, Virtualbox. It could be so the apt install. It could be Virtualbox guest X11. Yeah, let's try it out. Now if the resolution changes by itself, it didn't. It means it worked, but it didn't. So didn't work. Let's try. This is actually the first thing that you will have to try is go on devices and insert guest editions CD image. Now in the past few years, just by clicking on this, it does everything automagically. Let's see if it works. Don't let me troubleshoot this. Run, please work. Yes, it says that they're already installed, but I don't know. It's trying to install them again. Okay, let's wait and pray. Thoughts and players. Press return to close the window. Does it work? Let's try rebooting the system. Usually it isn't needed. With Ubuntu, it was automatic. Didn't have to restart. Still doesn't work. Now, one other thing, I've been doing this for 15 years. Now, if it doesn't commute to the host resolution, you can go to display and there it is, the bastard. It can happen that the resolution doesn't change because you don't have enough video memory assigned to the virtual machine. This happens with all of them. So you can just shut down the machine. Go to settings, display, video memory, give it at least 128, which is, well, it's the maximum. It's actually at least, it was, if I remember correctly, it was about 80 to 100 megabytes. I had done some troubleshooting for some student in the past, and I had tried all of the possible permutations. Started again, and now it should work. If it doesn't, we'll try installing them manually. It works. So it was the video memory thing. It probably would have worked the first time we installed it via the terminal. So you see, I'm never wrong. Never. I've been doing this for so long that. One last thing. Go to machine. Advanced bidirectional shared clipboard, so that if we copy something from within the machine and we paste it on the host that is on Windows, it'll work. And then drag and drop bidirectional, we'll be able to drag and drop files from the virtual machine to the host and the other way around. I hate saying vice versa because it's an Italian word and I don't like pronouncing it with the English accent. Vice versa. It sounds so weird to me. It's viceversa. It should be viceversa. It's an Italian word. And viceversa. Then on system processor, everything is right here. A network, this last thing here. If you want to do, no, for example, software development, and you serve from localhost a web page, you will want to set it to bridged so that it'll be able to communicate with other machines on the network. Let me give you an example. I'm probably going too far, but I want to give you a taste, because if you're watching this video, you'll probably want to start developing or do some system administration in the future. So why not? So there's a server which is usually installed, a web server which is usually installed by default on Linux, which is the Apache server. So Apache 2. And we can start it with sudo service apache 2 start. What the hell is this? I breached the matrix. Now if we visit it on localhost on port 80, we'll see the default page for Apache 2. Our IP, that is the address assigned to this machine with host name dash uppercase I, we'll see that it's 192.168.113. But if we go back to Windows and we try to visit that page, which is served through the Apache server, well, it'll work because we set it to bridged. But instead, if we had this on NAT, network address translation, the operating system will create a subnet that is another separate private local network, which will not allow the machines to communicate at the network level. So you see that it keeps loading and loading, but it never actually visits the page. We will not even be able to ping it. Ping is a program that sends an echo message to see if a machine is reachable, but it is not in this case because we set it to NAT. It's in another network, basically. Another virtual network, of course, because with Virtualbox, everything is virtual, right? So we go to settings, we set it again to bridged. And now to commute, press right Control and F. Should have mentioned this earlier. Now, if we try pinging it again, we see that it works. So just a little aside. I felt like this was something important to tell you. Also because, you know, see how easy it is to set up a web server on Linux Mint. It took us 2 minutes. Probably now you start understanding why so many developers use Linux to do development. Now you just have to go to the Apache server and write some code in PHP and bam, you're already developing things in PHP or some other server programming language, which could also be Perl. Probably it's old, but also in Python, for example. Well, we'll take a look. I'm moving too fast. We'll take a look at absolutely everything about programming and IT in general in the following videos. And so the video's over. Now you can install all of the Linux distros you want on your operating system by virtualizing them without the fear of breaking anything because they're isolated. In the next video, we'll install Kali Linux, which is the de facto Linux distro used to perform professional penetration tests, that is, ethical hacking. Subscribe to the channel if you're passionate about IT and hacking, because I'll be uploading lots of new videos in the following months. Actually, one new video per day for the next 3 months, because I'm crazy like that. I like working. And if you want to, and you're passionate, and you want to support your career as a professional penetration tester or ethical hacker, join other thousands of students on Teachable. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.